begins in 3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome to Talkin' Beards, the show about beards, beard issues, and beard maintenance. I'm your host, Nick Pruer, and boy, do we have a great hour lined up for you today.
You want a Torah?
Nah, I'm not hungry.
The morning stream. What do you say? We get nipple to nipple.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for Monday, December 12th, 2022. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hey-o. Hello.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
So we're back. It's a show. We got things to discuss. Now, here's the thing.
Short week this week.
Yeah, a little short. We're not here Thursday. No Friday either, I guess, right? Because you'll be...
Unless you want to do a couch party without me, certainly could.
I might do a thing that's
sure Monica would love to.
I could do a thing that's separate. Because I want to continue the Ms. Marvel with you there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep.
So maybe I'll do like a one-off, something like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, Brian's going to Vermont, the lovely Vermont.
Vermont.
Yeah.
It means Green Mountain.
Yeah, and there are people up there that as soon as you see them, they'll go, "Oh, I wouldn't go up there if I were you."
Heading up to Jericho, are you? Yeah. Wouldn't go up there if I were you.
Yeah, they found a dead body up there, you know.
Turn right at the Dunkin' Donuts, and then turn left at the second Dunkin' Donuts, and then. If you pass the 7th Dunkin' Donuts, you've gone too far.
Are they known for, is that the origin state of Dunkin' Donuts?
It's not. No, I think like New York, New Jersey, somewhere up there, Massachusetts, someplace. But somewhere in Northeast where everybody uses Dunkin' Donuts, or I guess they're just called Dunkin' now.
Mm. Oh, are they? I didn't know they took the donut out of the name.
They're just Dunkin'.
Is that a health thing? Like a, hey, you
I don't know. It might just be like a KFC thing where it's like, We're just gonna shorten it, just a shorter name so people don't say Dunkin' Donuts. Just go, I'm going to Dunkin'. You want anything?
Oh, see, I thought that's why KFC did change it because they were like, fried chicken is starting to be bad for you.
Fried, sure.
Maybe. But maybe that could be. Maybe somebody.
It could be. Yeah.
I don't know. You hear these things growing up, and you don't really know what's true or not. You know.
Sure.
You try to take what people say, and you mull it around in your head, and then you flatten it out and make pasta out of it, and you hope you got the right thing when you're done. And
sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Penne, sure.
Penne. Anyway, so let's get to it. We got some stuff. I may seem like I've got a lot of energy. I honestly don't know where this is coming from because I think it's one of those paradoxical things where my body's reacting in the opposite way it should. Because
producing enough to keep you awake.
It must be because I had no sleep last night, like none. Or if I had any at all, it was always interrupted very quickly because Carter's dog. Notice I refer to her as Carter's dog when there's a problem.
Yes, right.
And Ripley when she's great, because she's usually great. Usually nothing wrong with it. I love this animal. She's wonderful. But she either got into something or got a little tummy bug. And it has just been nonstop this right here. Where is it? Don't I have this clip out?
Diarrhea?
Yeah, just diarrhea every 5 minutes.
House?
No, not in the house. Thankfully, well, okay, that's not exactly true. So here's how we're cued in on it. Night before, 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear some scraping. Yeah. And that usually means, one of them needs to pee. So should let her out. She's in the kennel. She lives in a kennel at night. They're kennel trained. And so we go to get Ripley, and we walk in the room. We're like, what freaking bomb went off in here? It freaking stinks.
Oh, no.
It was so bad, and we just didn't know, and it was dark. And so I let her out, and she's doing her thing. I turn the light on in there. And she had just gone all over the place in her kennel, outside the kennel.
On her feet, so now she's walking through the house from the
she's just
door with it all.
She's a diarrhea monster at this point. And I'm like, the poor thing. And she also went out and immediately vomited, and then, a couple more squirties out in the yard. And anyway,
dang, wonder what she ate.
I have no idea. So we had to bathe her. And she's huge. She's a big Weimaraner. She's a big dog. It's not like a easy thing where I put a little, teacup poodle in the sink or something.
Nope. You got to hose her down with one of those showers that's removable from the wall, basically.
Yeah, I basically literally got in a shower and took a shower with her and scrubbed her down, and she got all clean and everything. But then there's the issue of her kennel and the bed thing that's in her kennel, which is kind of built in but made of this material you can pull out sort of and then wash it. And anyway, whole ordeal. Sure. And we thought, whatever she got into, maybe she had a dead bird or who knows what she did outside. We don't usually go out with her, so she's never like on her own. But we thought maybe she snuck something, saw something we didn't know. So then, so then she's like, seemed a little better to me.
Yeah.
And yesterday throughout the day, she had energy. She was eating a little bit. She was being fine, but she was still going outside and doing the liquid dance just a little bit. So we thought, well, her body's just getting back to normal,
Sure.
just doing its thing. And last night, she decided at midnight, 2, 3:30, 4, and 6 to have to go all those times. And the reason we knew is she scraped, and as soon as we heard the first scrape, one of us was like, bolt up, go get her. Took her out, so no problems in the house, always outside. But now she's making soft serve like a freaking Dairy Squeeze or whatever those Dairy Queen say.
Dairy Queen. So the when Daisy was kind of going through this over the weekend as well, we do the chicken and rice diet instead of giving her regular food. We just switched over to something a little bit more stomach neutral, basically. Get her some food that will help kind of reduce that.
Yeah.
So that usually helps Daisy. I mean, we're dealing with a 15-year-old dog that I'm sure is in her last a few weeks of
a few
uprightness.
weeks. Oh man.
Yeah, I think she'll see the new year, but I don't know how much beyond that, because she's walking stiff-legged. She is the cognitive stuff is getting worse. She just kind of stares in corners. She does a pacing thing for hours, the same path around our house for hours. And if there's a box in her way, she walks over the box because it's like, no, I have to do this path. Like I can't go a different way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that makes me sad. I'm sad to hear that.
Yeah. She's a good dog.
So dogs do this, right? They have their time. They have their moments.
Yeah,
they get old.
exactly.
They do whatever they do. But in her case, she's just as happy as can be. She just has to poop 24/7, and we can't sleep.
Disagreed with her, and
even when we couldn't, even when we're up, then we're like back to bed, and we're thinking, okay, let's go back to bed. We'll go to sleep. You can't sleep right away. Your brain takes a while to get you back to the thing. I almost got out and read a comic book. That's how tired I was. Anyway, so I don't know why I have any energy now or any kind of anything today, but here I am.
Well, maybe you get time for a nap later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? I'll tell you what I didn't have time for. We tried to carve out 3 hours of our lives to watch Triple R because Brian glowingly reviewed it. Everyone else I've talked to loved it. Like, Scott, you got to watch this. Everybody's like pounded into me. We were certain we were going to get this done on Saturday. That was the plan. And then her parents came over right as we were about to do it. And then we had another visit, and then Carter called, and then we got stuff going on with Taylor, and she's like planning for Monday because today there's a bunch of stuff going on between them and the kids, and like constant interruptions to the degree that we just didn't have the 3 hours anymore.
Yeah.
So we watched another episode of Wednesday. Which is fine. It's good.
You don't really have to watch RRR in one sitting. If we were to say, oh, it's a limited series, it's a 3-episode, 1 hour each limited series, you'd be like, oh, I could knock that out in a day or like a couple days.
That's a good way of looking at it.
What you need to do is just, do it as there's no reason to do the whole thing in one sitting.
Are there natural break points, or is it just kind of like go an hour and,
I would say, here's how I would do it. Personally, I would split it into 2. And after the wedding, or I'm sorry, the fancy party scene in the middle with the, I'll just say nacho. After that is a good place to split it. And if you need to divide it over 2 nights.
And I'll know what nacho is.
You'll know what nacho is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Is RRR also rated R? Oh, it's not rated.
Is it unrated?
Unrated,
okay.
Yeah, it says on IMDb. That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, although I'm guessing, like Parasite, we're probably going to see mention of this during the Oscars.
Oh, you think so? That's cool.
Another foreign film that could eke its way into the Best Picture area.
Whoa, I like this.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when these weird things get in there.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
It's kind of fun. Life is Beautiful and Parasite and
Yeah.
Hopefully this.
You could even argue that that small Australian film, Mad Max Fury Road, was one of those.
Yeah. Small Australia. Small.
Small, under budget, tiny budget.
Sure.
Nobody in it that you know. Not a giant director. It's all good.
Hey, I went to a company Christmas party Thursday night, Scott.
Whoa, the Coverville Incorporated office party? Was that
No,
it?
this is for one of my clients, one of my freelance clients. And they are nice enough to treat me like a full-fledged employee as opposed to just some guy that they have to call when they need something. It helps that I'm really good friends with the owners. I used to work with the owner back at the If I Could Use Your Phone company. We worked together there, and then we worked together at another company when that one fell through. So, it was at a sushi place, a small company. There were 8 of us there. Nice small fill up a table kind of thing. And I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, I'm gonna do this sashimi plate, and Tina's doing this tempura thing. We got a couple of rolls to split between us, and everybody else is ordering. But the CEO has what is it, keracidosis, I believe. And so he's very limited on the things that he can eat at one of these places, and so he can't really do rice, or shouldn't do rice.
Gotcha.
So the waitress comes over and says, all right, what can I get for you? And he's like, well, I've got the sushi menu here, and for example, I want a tuna, a maguro, but I don't want the nigiri version. I want the sashimi version, so no rice. She's like, oh yeah, okay, just put a 1 and then put a little S next to it, and then we'll know that you want the sashimi version.
Right. That makes sense.
It's like, okay, cool. So he marks that. He orders a couple other things, and we turn in all our menus and enjoy our miso soup and salad. And she comes back with 2 giant plates of tuna, nigiri tuna on rice.
Okay. That's
and
no
we're
good.
like, oh, hey, who ordered? Like looking around, in case it was somebody at the other end of the table ordered this. Like, what? Who ordered this? And she says, no, you ordered it. And he's like, no, I wanted 1 sashimi tuna. And she's no, right here at 15, because the 1 and the S to her looked like a 15, or to the sushi chef. So he made 15 nigiri tuna, maguro tuna sushis.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
How do you explain
So
that
she's like,
one?
as soon as she said that, she's like, oh my God, that's an S. This is completely my fault. I am so sorry. Let me take those back. And they did take them back. And listen, it is the most commonly ordered thing at a sushi bar. So it was not hard for them to get rid of the extra maguro, but
damn, dude. I mean, you got plenty of options where that can go. You're not going to just throw it in the dumpster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
how was the overall affair? Was it like I don't know.
It was great.
Was it fun?
Yeah,
Were there
such a
any
good time.
debauchery? No debauchery of any kind?
No, we're a pretty mellow group. We chatted about things that weren't work related, and I go, like I said, Chris Brown is another member of this company, so he was there. So it's basically like a good fun group of people to just chit chat with. So
that sounds like a good time. I haven't been to a corporate or company party since I worked at a company or corporation, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. And you and I work freelance. We very rarely get invited to things like this.
No,
and,
I can't even think the last time. I think I worked for a place and we had one, and that was it. That was like 2009 maybe.
Yeah.
Before this show ever started.
Exactly. So
Weird.
there we go. It's I feel fortunate, and I also feel fortunate that, again, they treat me like a member of the company as opposed to just this freelance guy.
Yeah, you're in their eyes, you're one of them, Brian.
Exactly, one of them.
One of them. All right. Well, speaking of one of them, I got a present.
Open
from
one of
Brian.
them.
Look at this. So in the mail, I get a box.
Ooh.
I get what looks like a loot box from Marvel. And I opened it up because those boxes are really sturdy and great.
They're great for remailing, man.
Yep.
They're fantastic.
I'm literally using it to remail something today.
Yeah.
Because it's so thick and rich.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brian sent this gift, and it was really nice because there were 2 little boxes in there, one for me, one for Van. And the one for Van,
he definitely appeared to like the dinosaur. Yeah,
he loves it. He's now obsessed with it. Taylor says that's all he wants to play with and do. He stayed up too late playing with it last night. She's like, gotta go to bed, buddy. He's like, I love dinosaur time. So he really likes it. It's one of these articulated 3D printed thing Brian does.
Yeah.
And he loves it. So that was awesome and very appreciated. But I thought, hey, it might be fun to open this one on the air.
Yeah.
With Brian. Not to put, Brian on the spot or me, but we're going to do it.
Well, this is where you have to really put out your poker face, right? If if you don't like it, it's like, oh, one of these.
Oh, I love
Excellent.
it.
Thank you.
It's so good. Anyway, moving on to Babble Royale. No, it'll be I'm sure it'll be great. So we're going to open it and just kind of see. So this is like Christmas morning a little bit.
Right.
You know, you're in your pajamas. You smell a little bit like Cinnamon Toast
2
Crunch.
weeks away, it counts. Yeah.
Yeah, totally counts. You've stayed up too late the night before, and you may have snuck down to see what's there, but you couldn't tell because it was too dark, and your dad knew you were there. Anyway, so I'm going to open this here. We're just going to tear this up. Here's some ASMR for those people.
You need the sound of ripping paper and stuff.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. I found a channel that is nothing but opening packages in slow motion and playing the sound of it. Yeah.
Oh, you played that. I remember seeing somebody talking. You must have played that before a adventure party or something.
No, I actually did it during the show for. When was this? Just the other day. Oh, it was when Wendy was here talking about the gift anxiety stuff.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
So I played because I was just looking for like, hey, I need some B-roll of some gifts. Instead, I found some girl going. That's stupid. Anyway, I mean, look, if you like it, you like it. I'm not here to make fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
I'm not going to yuck your yum. If you enjoy that sort of thing, awesome.
All right, here we go. We're opening it. No way, dude. I almost got one of these.
I know. I'm so glad you didn't.
Oh, are you kidding? I love this.
This is the one we talked about on
you guys.
TMS.
If I open this, you know what it means. It won't open. It's a thing. But
for you audio listeners, it's the Hellraiser. What is it called? The Cenobite Cube, or
yeah, they have it. I mean, it's basically Pandora's box, but they have a name, right? It's
They do. Yeah, there it is. The Lament configuration.
Lament configuration.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I wanted. So when we heard about, I think we heard on the air about this.
We talked about this, that they were selling it on Walmart as a STEM toy.
Yeah,
for
which
kids.
Is so weird.
This will teach your kids STEM.
Does it actually open?
It does.
Oh wow! So this is like the real thing where you can't really tell how.
Exactly, like you're playing around with it.
Oh, dude. I want Pinhead and the lady with the vagina in her neck and the one guy with the chattering teeth. Can I get those 3 Cenobites when I open this?
Totally.
Okay.
And things got some heft to it. I've got mine right here.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to tell you how to open it?
Yeah. I mean, let's learn together here. I want to see what you do, and then I'll see if I can figure it out.
So here's mine. Right.
Okay.
So on any of the corners, basically, there's a split right down the middle of the corner here on all 4 corners.
I see that.
You're going to put your fingers on either side of that split, and then push the pieces apart.
Okay, hold on.
Basically, this thing is two of these.
Stage 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically 2 of these that just fit together, and you can rotate it 10 degrees, and then you end up with something that looks like this.
But you didn't. A hook didn't come out and poke you, and then now you're
no. Fortunately, no. But
okay.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a bummer. I still can't do it. This is like the movie. Hold on. I watched you do it. Do it again.
Yeah. Okay. So here's how it is in its full configured state.
Yeah.
So just push, see how this part separates.
Yeah.
You're going to basically just push those 2 parts away.
Oh, geez.
And yep. And there you go.
Okay.
Now it's in 4 parts. So that's good.
It didn't break, I hope.
No, it totally didn't.
It's pretty sturdy.
It is like.
I must be stupid. I can't get this to go.
No, it just takes a lot of. It takes a lot of work.
Okay. Well, I actually kind of like that about it. And there's a little stand. Look at this, you guys.
Yeah, a little stand so you can put on the stand.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Brian, this is the perfect gift.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, this is Nerd Town, USA.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm just glad that A, you didn't end up buying one for yourself, or B, somebody else didn't get one for you.
I came this close, and I thought, you know what?
I think we were looking at them online at the same time, and then you said, I might have to get one of those later, and then I didn't hear you bring it up, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get him one.
I love it. Oh my gosh. And I have to say, as a teenager, there was hardly any movie that freaked me out more than Hellraiser.
Yeah.
And it's weird because if you'd have given this to me then, I'd have legit been freaked out when I was like 15. I would have been like, I don't want that. But as an adult, and the campy cheese that is that series,
exactly,
I love it. This is now one of my favorite things.
Cool.
And this
now
is
you've
also,
got to,
it's heavy. It's crazy
It
heavy.
is. It's got some serious heft to it. And once you get it open, it's actually got a little tiny, like a little tiny pocket where you can put stuff in there. You can hide a key in there. Yeah.
This is where you can hide your weed.
You can put your weed in there.
You can put your weed in there. All right. I love it.
Cool.
I love
it.
You'll
have to fidget with it during the show today and see if you can get it open.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep rubbing this until the genie comes out. That's awesome.
Perfect.
And
you'll be learning STEM while you do it. That's the great part is that
I can't believe Walmart had these.
I know.
Does that seem crazy?
Bizarre. Yeah, it's so strange.
Seems really insane. All right, well that made a whole night of dog diarrhea way better, to be honest.
Good deal.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. A piece of Christmas here on the on the morning stream for you there.
There you go.
All right. We are gonna do some Dunaway time.
Yeah.
Phoebe has tummy time. We here on the show have Dunaway time. And, apparently, that's a thing. As a parent now, you do. You have to have tummy time. You
really.
You lay them on their
just
belly.
Lay down and let the baby lay on your tummy.
Well, they're supposed to just lay on theirs. Doesn't matter the surface. But the concept is this is really good for their neck strength. So when they're that little, they're always trying to, learn how to move and get those muscles going. And if you do the tummy time, they get really good at moving their neck muscles and strengthen that so that they're able to do it quicker than usual. And they don't get flathead, which is good because nobody wants flathead. If you get flathead, you look like Dunaway. All right, here we go. Speaking of that guy, it's Brian Dunaway joining us. Hi, Brian Flathead Dunaway. How are you?
Oh, hi, Flathead Scott and Ibbett. How are you guys doing? By the way, I like the idea that you do realize how horrible it sounds. You say, "Oh yeah, laying them on their belly," so that, it increases their neck strength. Just because they're trying to avoid smothering to death. Good job on you.
No, you have to do it when they're awake, not while they're sleeping.
Yeah. But that's even worse. The kid just woke up and just like, tummy time. He's like, oh, God, no.
All I know, look, when we were all having our little kids, when you had little kids, me and Brian had little, Tristan was little, my kids were little.
I know what I did to my kids.
Well, but what I mean is, like, back then, they always jumping back and forth. They were like, your kids should sleep on their stomachs. Nope, they should sleep on their backs. Nope, they should sleep on their stomachs.
They did.
There was back and forth, and nobody could decide. It drove me crazy.
Yeah, it's like, don't lay them on their back for too long. You have to rotate them. If you don't rotate them, then they get the flathead, like you said. And it's like, don't lay them on that side. They're going to be messed up.
Yep. You don't want that flathead, boy.
That's why I put all my kids inside of a helmet. There you go.
Yeah. It's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yep. Give them helmets. Don't even wait for the doctor to tell you to do it. Just do it.
It'll also help make their shape their heads in the right shape that you want them to shape.
That is true.
Which is cone
like
shape.
Those square pumpkins or square watermelons in Japan.
Yeah. Those are the ones. Hey, speaking
Wouldn't that be great?
Speaking of square heads, I do like those pumpkins when they do the square thing. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I do too.
I mean, it's obviously not natural in any sort of the word sense of the word. Hey, you know what time it is, you guys? We're gonna play this game, and we call it Babble Royale, but really we call it Half Asses on Mondays. And Brian here is going to explain to us the rules, who we're playing for, and how we might win those people some prizes.
All of that is correct. Welcome to the Morning Half-Asses, a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving Scott and Brian the answers. I'm going to give them a category, 6 possible answers. 3 of those answers are correct, 3 are incorrect. Depending on how confident you feel with the category, you can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses, but if any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Guess 1 and get it right, you get a point. Get 2 right and you get 3 points. Get all 3 correct, you get 5 points. We'll do 3 rounds, and the player with the most points at the end wins a prize for their contestant. And our contestants are pulled from members of the Tadpole that aren't able to listen live. So, Scott, you're playing for Richard Cassidy in Burnley, UK.
Ooh, fancy.
In Burnley. Brian, you're playing for Kristen in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very close. Not too. I've been to Stone Mountain many times.
I completely pick these things at random, by the way. So it's not like,
That is
okay,
so
well,
funny.
it's obviously let's give this one to Brian because they're close by. No,
It always seems like I'm close by. Maybe
It does,
you can start sending me the prizes, and I'll just distribute them.
There you go.
As I
We'll
win.
deliver them like Santa. Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
There's a steam
Ho,
game
ho,
right
ho.
down the chimney. All right. Let's
Oh,
get
no.
to your first category. This is one that was sent to us by a listener, and your first question is MASH
Who was
trivia.
it, by the way? Do we have a name?
Oh God,
Jeff
MASH
Hart.
trivia.
Oh, Jeff Hart. Thank you, Jeff Hart,
Jeff
for
Hart.
sending this.
Things Colonel Potter said
last
on
horse hockey.
MASH. Right, exactly. Well, you're not far. Things Colonel Potter said on MASH. Which of these six things are things that Colonel Potter said? Did he say horses patoot, mule muffins, your wonton is wilted, do your best business on Main Street, rattled the rafters, and mental pygmy?
Oh my lord. Well, I
my
know
God.
one of these for
These are
100%. I know.
Yeah, I'm
one
almost
of them,
100% sure I know one of them
One of
as well.
these, I
And
think-
I'll totally be wrong.
I think I know one of them. I think I'm going with two.
One of them seems, one of them seems too obvious, and I'm gonna go with two as well. One of
Okay.
them seems like an obvious play.
Yeah.
Well, you both
Yeah.
said mule muffins. This is the episode where the baby is left outside the swamp when Winchester wants to go to
muffins.
HQ. And Colonel Potter indeed said mule muffins. Your wonton is wilted came from the episode where the MASH Olympics.
Good job.
On how out of shape the unit was. Your wonton is wilted. However, horses patoot was Henry Blake talking about Frank.
Good job.
Do your best business on Main Street also is was something that Harry Morgan said, but it wasn't when he was Colonel Potter. It was a few episodes before that when he came in as General Steele.
Oh, right.
That's
I love that's
BS.
a nice sneaky one. I like it.
And then
That's a
Rattle the
BS one.
Rafters is something that Klinger said when he was impersonating Colonel Potter on the phone calling HQ.
You know what I like about this is that they were all things said by someone at least, and that adds to. I think that instead of just being
Yes.
made up,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Hart, thank you so much for sending that one in. And if you do have one also to send in, coverville
So
at
did he send the-
gmail.com.
Yeah.
He sent in the whole thing. He sent
He
the
sent the whole
question
thing,
and the
questions
answers.
and answers.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Look at you getting off easy for Christmas.
Yeah.
You have to do nothing.
Hey,
Right?
he deserves
Exactly.
it. He deserves
Listen, I did that. I worked hard on
Deserves
these
it.
other two. Let's get to question number 2.
Okay. All right. There we go.
It is a comic book question, so you guys should both do really well on this one. Which of
shoot.
these are members of the Justice League? Is it Infinity Man, Molecule Man, Doll Man,
Molecule
Cannibal
Man.
Man, Plastic Man, or Resurrection Man? Which of these 6?
And
Which 3 are members of the Justice
it. There
League?
are 3.
son of a bitch. What the freak?
Pretty
Hold on a
sure.
second.
What'd you do? Ruin your thing?
All right.
I don't know. I had a freaking sharp pain shoot in my middle finger for some reason.
No, that happened to me
Oh, no.
yesterday on my
Hell.
elbow. Yeah. We're old. We're
I felt
old.
like a piece.
Yeah.
I felt like a piece of glass was in there. Okay. Well,
Oh, gosh, I hate that.
Oh, you don't want that?
Oh, that's the worst.
No, that's not good at all.
Oh man, this feels. What was he? Oh, this feels like a trick.
It's a little tricky. I've chosen 2. I don't feel good about
Chosen
3.
2 as well. I feel
Okay.
like there's a trick one in there, and then I think the other one's right, but then I'm going to find out.
Do you feel like Plastic Man was a trick?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Plastic Man is a trick.
I feel
Well,
like
he's
I've
not.
seen him in there before, though.
He is. He's absolutely a member of the Justice League.
Okay.
As is Animal Man and Resurrection Man,
Yes.
but not Infinity Man, Molecule Man, or Doll Man. Points for Brian
Yes.
on that one.
Oh, we're tied up. Oh, my
we have a
gosh.
tie game going into the last question.
This is a real fight now.
This is a real fight. And
Resurrection Man.
Here's what's
Now-
great. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Resurrection Man. That's a little too close to Erection Man. So
Right. Exactly. All you have to do is just say the last part of it, right?
Yeah. You could be saying bring
Robin,
back
go
erection.
wake up Erection Man and tell him that we need to go defeat Metallo.
Yeah, it's like saying res erection man. You're saying
Res
bring
Erection
him
Man.
back to life.
Yeah,
You want erection
right,
man
exactly.
back. I like it.
Raza Ghul Resurrection Man.
Yep.
All right. Oh my gosh. So excited. We have a tie going into the last question. Which of these are characters voiced by Meryl Streep?
Oh,
So-
jeez.
Oh my.
Six possible answers. Did she provide the voice for the Blue Fairy, the Ant Queen, Pez Pam, Sarabi, Glove, and Ned Flanders' singing voice. 3 of those are ones she did do the voice work for. 3 of those are bogus.
I don't. Should we know who these are all other animated things?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of these are animated things. Glove refers to the hamburger helper glove.
Oh, that would be great. That would be awesome.
I like how you said it, though. Well, you said it made it sound dirty.
Yeah. I feel good about 2 of these.
No glove, no love, Dr. Jones.
I think 2 of these are where I'm going today.
Okay.
One of them I remember, but the other, I don't know for sure.
I'm rolling for 3, so I can go ahead and win or lose.
All right. This. I love it. It's like for all the marbles.
Yeah.
The Blue Fairy is from the movie AI.
Yeah.
And that was indeed voiced by Meryl Streep. The Ant Queen was from the movie The Ant Bully.
Yeah.
And that was voiced by Meryl Streep. Pez Pam was from Toy Story 4. That was not voiced by Meryl Streep. Sarabi was from The Lion King. That was also not voiced by Meryl Streep.
No.
Glove, come on, the hamburger helper glove, never voice work by Meryl Streep.
I wanted it to be,
that
though.
would be so freaking awesome.
That would be amazing on your resume. I would love that.
And Ned Flanders' singing voice indeed was the voice of Meryl Streep. Brian Dunaway takes it in the end with a risky bet on
Blue Fairy.
Takes it in the end.
You bastard. Look at you with the crazy choice. That's insane.
I knew the Ned Flanders. And I was pretty sure about the Blue Fairy. The Ant Queen was a total guess.
So, Sarabi is Glenn Close, I believe, right? Do I remember that right? Or am I get that wrong?
Sarabi? Oh, might be, yeah. Yes, I think that is correct, yes.
Yeah, and I get those 2 ladies mixed up, so that's why that one was like on the edge. I was like,
highly acclaimed actresses in their own rights. Yeah. So, congratulations going out to Kristen in Stone Mountain, Georgia. You are getting a copy of Train Simulator Classic and one of my favorite games from this last year, Deathloop.
Ooh,
I played the crap out of that game.
2 great games.
Deathloop is a great game.
It's your Groundhog Day with a weird infiltration into a base. It's just so much fun.
With them shooting guns. Yeah, it's good.
Shooting guns. But the runner-up is getting the Dark Pictures anthology, Little Hope. So, Richard Cassidy, you're getting that second game. So, both of you getting something good.
If you like scary games that are a lot like old 80s horror movies, those Dark Pictures anthology games are all that, basically. And that's a good one of that trilogy. So
good. I'm glad. I knew nothing about that game, and I could pretty much figure out what Train Simulator Classic. That one I could kind of get the gist of. Okay, I'm guessing it's a train simulator.
Yeah. Now, that one turns out to be a first-person shooter set in hell.
It's a dating sim. Yeah.
It's much easier to tell what that one is on the face of it.
Right.
Well done, all you guys. You guys deserve this.
Definitely.
Whoop, that's not it.
Congratulations. You're a winner.
You've won, and Brian made that possible, and so did Brian Dunaway for being such a great player today. Brian, how do you feel about your massive win, and also are you excited about Play Retro tomorrow night?
I am. We're doing Christmas games from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and man, I have never played Nights into Dreams, but the Christmas version was spectacular.
It's so
for the
good.
Saturn.
It's so good. I mean, it's like kind of horrible that you can only. It only felt like a game I could play in the Christmas season, but it was great for that. It was really good.
Yeah, we talk about this from time to time, especially on Film Sack. It's like my acceptance of crapness. It gets a lot more tolerant from October until the end of December.
Yeah,
sure.
And these days, the way they make up for new games, they do events that are Christmas themed, but then the games continue on without the Christmas theme because we have the internet and patching and all the other stuff we do these days. But back then, if you were going to lock in and make a Christmas themed game, that was the game. There was no the rest of the year.
You had that CD. You had to deal with that CD that came out of that magazine. Yeah. You had to do something with it.
Yeah, you had to do something. Or that cartridge. You were just stuck in it was Christmas, and that's the way it was. So we're going to talk about that whole phenomenon and how it existed then and maybe how it's translated today. That's tomorrow on Play Retro, live at frogpants.tv at 3:30 Mountain, or you can get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Brian Dunaway, do you want to say anything else? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to the doctor in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, he got out. He used a thing where I would be genuinely concerned if one of my friends doesn't go to the doctor.
That's unfair. That was a dirty trick.
Bastard. Well, whatever. Also, hats off to him. That was a pretty sneaky trick. Yeah. Pretty sneaky, sis. Okay. Well, there's that. That was fun. Really nicely well done. Let's give that guy a shout out one more time. Who gave us our first question?
Jeff Hart.
Jeff Hart
sent that one in. If you've got an idea for a set of questions for half-asses, please send them in. I do have one for next week, and I've lost another one that somebody sent in. So if you've sent one in, maybe just resend me a ping saying, hey, here's the one I sent you. Don't forget it.
Yeah, that won't hurt. Coverville@gmail.com is where you'll do that.
The problem is I should just enter them in immediately when I receive them, and I don't. For whatever reason. So
damn you to hell.
I know. Damn you to hell.
Straight to hell. All right, it is time for the news, and it's brought to you by
the Saturday morning cartoon episode of Futurama Season 10.
So people forget we got Season 11 coming, and you forget that Season 10 aired in like 2011 or something, the year this show started. And Season 10 is full of some freaking gems. That one in particular is President Nixon, the head of President Nixon, who's still president, watching Saturday morning cartoons while there's a giant raging protest outside. And it's so good. They have 3 sections, almost like an
anthology, like a Treehouse of Horror, basically.
Exactly. And the first one is, if I remember right, I forgot what the first one is. Oh, crap. My brain, I actually think I like the first one the best. Anyway, I can't remember. Oh, it's a spinoff. It's a parody of Scooby-Doo and the
cool.
Mystery Machine and all that. Very funny. George Takei makes a guest appearance in it. It's really good. Then they got this one where it's like Smurfs kind of, except they're called Purple Berries, and it's mostly a joke about selling cereal. It's great. I love it.
Nice.
And then the third one is a G.I. Joe send-up. Fan-freaking-tastic. It's so good.
Really? Oh, that sounds great. I did binge the entire series. I'm sure I definitely saw that one. I just forgot about it.
Well, it's all, blurs together if you watch all of it.
It does, yeah, if you go right, yeah.
But I'm having so much fun in this season. It's so good. Anyway, can't wait for 11. I hope they're well underway. I think they are, but I have no idea. The good news is that John DiMaggio is coming back to be Bender and 1,000 other voices. So, yeah, that's good.
Cool.
All right, there's that. Let's do this news right here. We got an iguana in the news, an iguana.
Is it a barbecued iguana or just a regular iguana?
Ooh, I almost knocked over my cube of destiny. Hold on. It is neither of those iguanas. It is a real lizardy kind,
Okay, so not a barbecued iguana that wish you were in Tijuana?
No, none of that. Or the red iguana down in Salt Lake City, one of the best Mexican restaurants you can ever eat at. Highly recommend it if you're in the city.
Okay.
This is an actual iguana. It caused a large-scale power outage in the South Florida city.
Maybe it isn't. At this point, it might be a barbecued iguana.
Yeah, good point. Now, the state of the iguana is certainly, we're not sure. But anyway, one of Florida's infamous invasive iguanas. These are things this happens all the time down there with iguanas. They get stuck in different systems and screw up all sorts of stuff.
Drains or something, yeah.
But one of the state's southern cities had a little bit of havoc wreaked by one. And it is the city of Lake Worth Beach announced that one of the scaly green creatures was responsible for a large-scale outage of power. The electric utility is currently responding to a large-scale outage caused by an iguana on our 6th Avenue substation. They tweeted on Wednesday, this outage, last Wednesday, is affecting customers in the southeast area of our service territory. Teams are working hard to repair the damage and restore the system. So I don't know if it went in there, probably chewed it.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, what else are they going to do? They're not going to go in there and mate it or something. They're going to chew it.
For sure. Well, here it is. One woman commented on the city's original Facebook post saying that the iguana in her neighborhood, quote, went up under the transformer or something, but he blew it and he fried.
Oh, he blew it.
He did. He blew the transformer.
Oh, I thought she meant.
He blew a transformer.
I thought she meant he blew whatever it meant to do. Like, you blew it and you fried yourself.
You blew it, iguana. You really blew it.
Dumbass iguana. CBS News reached out to the city for more information. Give us all you got on this iguana.
He was just trying to put himself through college.
Yeah. Can you blame him?
So he blew the transformer.
I know. I see where you went with that.
You see where I was going with that.
Yeah, I can see that. Also, we got another story about 13 strangers. This sounds like a movie plot or a TV show.
Forced to live in a house to see what happens.
It's not, you're not far off, except it's a moving vehicle, but.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. It's,
but you're
real
not
world planes, trains, and automobiles almost.
Yeah. Honestly, I would not be shocked if somebody doesn't turn this into a script or something.
Sure.
Here's how it went. 13 strangers go viral for renting a van and driving 10 plus hours together after their collective flight cancellation. So these are all strangers, and they had a big flight canceled, and so they said, you know what? How many of you want to pool up and get this van and we'll drive? And 13 of them did.
That's cool. All right, that is really cool. I would totally do this. By the way,
I would do this in my 20s. I would not do this now.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Sure.
Would you do it now? I feel like it'd be weird.
I would do it now. It depends on how urgently I needed to get where I was going. Otherwise, I'll just talk to the customer service. They'll probably put me in a hotel room overnight or something. But,
you'll get a flight the next day or whatever.
Yeah, but in my 20s, I absolutely would have done this.
Well, it says
it
here.
It really also depends on who the other 9 people are, though, right? Because you look at somebody like, oh, I am not gonna ride. I don't even want to sit in an airport with this guy, let alone 10 and a half hours in a van with him.
Yeah, if everybody was wearing like Minecraft shirts, I'd go my people and I would ride with them. It's fine.
Right.
I mean, not that I love Minecraft, but you know what I mean. They'd be like our kind of nerds. But if it's just like a mix, like a complicated mix of here's a business guy who's grumpy and trying to just get the bottom line, doesn't really like people. Here's a homemaker whose kid's on drugs or like whatever. Yeah. Like I don't know if I could do too much of a mix, but anyway.
Yeah, no.
Says that a ragtag group of 13 came together to drive a rented van more than 10 hours north to their final destination where they started, which was Orlando, the airport in Orlando. Along the way, they found viral fame and hopefully lifelong friendships. Oh.
They also found viruses and bacteria, which they all shared for 10 and a half hours.
Yeah, and a little chlamydia is my understanding. Just a little.
Oof, just 3 or 4 of them.
Just 3 or 4 chlamydias. That was all.
Yes, just 3 or 4.
This is what actually happened on Sunday, December 4th, when after being delayed twice, Frontier eventually canceled the flight to Knoxville, Tennessee altogether. They were all like, well, we can all go out on the next flight, which is Tuesday, which is 48 hours later, or we can take those 2 days and go back. People have things to do, they said. As people milled about in the line and near customer service, Miller said one woman named Amy took charge and shouted anyone who wanted to try driving north to the final destination in a rented van could join her. The line was long. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let my mom handle it. They told today.com. Anyway, so
interesting. So I wonder how many people wanted to ride in this van with the 10 of them, and they cut it off. And if they said, you, not you, not you, definitely not you, you.
When's the last time you showered? They'd say to one of them.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Sorry, you're staying here. I hope it was one of those big polygamy vans, the ones that have enough room for.
Sure. I'm sure it was. It'd
have to be.
We rented one in Orlando when we took the entire family down to Disney World a few years ago, 2015, I think, and it was one of those 15 people could fit in comfortably with a bunch of luggage and all that sort of thing. A transit van.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
We always call them polygamy vans here because I swear when I see one, it's just full of polygamists.
It's one guy, 5 women, and 11 kids.
Yeah. It feels like it. Sometimes a church will own one for excursions or whatever. My grandma used to ride in a service that used a van like that to go to Wendover, which is about an hour and a half from here, to gamble on the weekends.
Okay.
So they would load up, all these blue-haired old ladies would load up in one of these vans, and they would drive to the border and go to Wendover, which I've kind of been in the mood to go check out lately. It's fun. It's the kind of, how do I put this? It's like Reno.
Sure.
In that Vegas is the big, the shiny city with all the new glitzy whatever, but with all the chud living underneath and all that. There's so much about Vegas that's like mythological almost.
But in those small towns, if you're not gambling, what else is there to do and see?
No, that's why I like them, because they're kind of grummy, grimy, what's the word? Like
grungy, grimy?
Grungy, grimy, grummy.
Grummy.
They're kind of gross. And, but you find like cool diners and.
Oh, that's cool.
Like
See, we have Black Hawk and Central City here, which is about 45 minutes west into the mountains from where I live. So in 45 minutes, I can be at a slot machine or at a craps table or whatever. And I've, in the past 12 months, if I've gone more than one time, I'd be surprised. It's just,
Sure.
I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's not wanting to spend the money, but it's also like, I'll do this when I'm in Vegas with a great big group of people, but
it's a discount. It's a discount experience, right? Like
it really is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'd like it once in a while, just as a motif, as a backdrop for like kind of desperation and wood paneling and
exactly.
I don't know, it's hard to explain, but and we had Kim and I went to lunch yesterday, or brunch yesterday at this place called The Porch, which we really like, and we had a waitress that reminded me of places like this because every sentence she called one of us either honey or sweetie.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. And
no
she had
cigarette dangling out of her mouth, though?
No, but you could tell she's years of smoking because her voice is way down here. Hey, you like our grits there, honey? They're pretty good, aren't they, those grits?
Do you want a slice of pie? They're in that big, tall glass case where they've been rotating for the last 3 days.
Yeah, I can get you a slice of pie, sweetie. Like a lot of that. And there's something about that I don't know. I like it.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool.
I don't like it all the time, right?
No,
I don't want that in my life all the time, but once in a while.
Yeah, just the once in a while thing, for sure.
Yeah. All right, here's a story. This is a good story.
Okay.
I mean, look, I think we should all use what we have. Try not to waste,
Sure. Oh, yeah, no, obviously. Let's, conserve our resources.
Well, this Dawson's Creek, not the show, the place.
Okay.
Rancher is giving that a try, and he's doing it with afterbirth. From cows.
Okay.
It's from cows.
Oh, okay. Well,
not from the people.
Still not selling me on it. Oh, yeah. It's cow afterbirth. Well, that's just fine.
Oh, that's just fine. Yeah, everyone loves a good cow afterbirth. So check this out. Rancher gives new life to afterbirth by creating art from cow placentas. When customers enter the Dawson's Creek Cannabis Company store to buy Mary Jane, some are stopped dead in their tracks by what looks like a full-sized glowing coffin in the middle of the store. Now, I have to show this photo to the chat.
Oh, God. Okay,
because it is
so
something.
I can see the photo.
Look at that thing.
Oh, that's epic.
It is, right? It's actually kind of beautiful in a weird way. Oh, why do I have this up still?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, those are all stretched out and dried placentas. Yeah, cow placenta. It's
not stained glass after all. That is apparently when you flatten, straighten out a cow placenta, you get.
Yeah, I bet people placentas would do something similar if you collected those.
Yeah.
It says it looks like a stained glass casket, illuminated within. There's some lights in there. But it's a work of art created by cow placentas, created by local rancher artist Emil Madsen. It raises eyebrows, says Madsen in an interview with CBS. He says it makes a bit of a spark. Some people are totally disgusted and walk away, horrified. Some are amazed. Cows are just dumb and go.
Yeah, count me as one of the amazed ones that's like, wow, that is, no, I don't want it in my house, but that's really cool.
Right. It is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I worry that there could be a smell,
Sure. Yeah.
I worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, what are they doing? Like treating it probably, like putting it in some sort of lucite or shellac or something like that, maybe, hopefully?
Probably. I mean, we hope, right? That's what we're saying is we hope.
Exactly. Oof.
But look, if you're going to, you're going to have a lot of extra placentas around, because they got 3, see, it says here, at the time he was running.
What am I going to do with all these placentas?
It says, he had 300 head of cattle and a lot of baby cows, calves, they call them.
Sure.
And he was like, well, why waste it, It's better than eating it or something. That's weird.
Do you think this even happens if they're not in a pot shop? Like, do you think this even gets discovered or figured out?
I know, dude. I was noticing in the background of it. Look at all the like weed products in the back.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like they're making you groove on this weird art piece.
That's right.
As you walk by to get some oil for your freaking vape pen.
You could put a lot of weed in there.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, there's that. We're done with the news, but that doesn't mean we're gone, because after this break and song Brian's going to play, we're going to have major spoilers here. That's right, Steven Schleicher taking time out of his Monday morning to talk about some of the good and cool things happening in pop culture. So stick around for that. Before that, though, a song. What do you got?
Yeah, a little reggaeton, which I don't think it's been a long time since we've played any UK reggaeton on the show, which is basically like a dance reggae, not quite dub, a little bit more upbeat, a little more poppy. This is I love this song. This is a it's called Another Squeeze of the Sponge, and it's basically like talking about a trickle of money when you were promised way more. So I think it might be directed at her label. I don't know. Anyway, this is a singer named G Girl 96. GEE Girl 96.
Oh yeah, I subscribe to her handle. I was gonna say I subscribe to her OnlyFans. So yeah,
I'm sure you do. Yes, and that Another Squeeze of the Sponge has an entirely different meaning on her. On our OnlyFans. Here is the song just came out. It's called Another Squeeze of the Sponge.
Baby, I need you like that last long drag off a cigarette before I step into the grocery. And by the time I'm 2 steps out, I need to light you up again.
I don't get all up in your business when you upgrade your bazooms.
The Morning Stream. They have the power to shut the sky.
And we've returned. Who was that again?
Sure. That is G Girl 96, and I guess it's pronounced reggaeton, not reggaeton, even though there's no E on the end. Reggaeton, a song called Another Squeeze of the Sponge.
Is it like that guy that does Mr. Bombastic, something in the
Shaggy?
Tastic? That guy.
Yeah.
Is he fall into that or no?
He probably, yeah, I would say so. He put out a Frank Sinatra album.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
really? What?
It's all Frank Sinatra's. Fly me to the moon and let me dance among the stars.
I need to hear that.
Let me
kidding
see
me?
what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. Exactly. Lock me a lady tonight. That's great.
I want this.
Shaggy.
I want this in my
great.
life. Is it actually like out there? Like I can get it?
It is. It's available. You can stream it on Apple Music.
I'm gonna find this. Hold on, let's see.
I was trying to pick a song from it for the end of year Coverville countdown.
Oh, here it is. Shaggy. Okay.
It's called "Come Fly with Me, Come Fly, Let's Fly Away."
Oh yeah, it's COMFLYWIDMI. So come fly with me.
Come fly with me.
Oh my Lord, this is amazing. That's live. Come fly. Just you know what? Okay, YouTube. I'm pausing you for a second. I'm serious. I'm gonna listen to all that later.
It's great. It's really, really good. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Not to overshadow the indie in the middle, everybody. We're not trying to do that.
No, not at all.
I'm sure it's perfectly as in line with what this is. All right.
Don't forget to restart the YouTube recording.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. We're good.
Okay, good. Good. Okay.
Let's get Steven in it to win it. Here's how he sounds.
Steven Schleicher. Steven Schleicher.
Hey, look who it is. It's Steven Schleicher joining us from MajorSpoilers.com. Comes on Mondays, talk about the latest in pop culture, cool news, sometimes comics, sometimes more. Hey, Steven, how are you?
Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Oh, look at you. You sound amazing today. Jeez.
Well, I'm at home. I'm at home today. I'm not at the office today.
Oh, it's such a great mic and connection right there.
Yeah, screw that.
What's weird is it's the exact same setup as here and the office. Same microphone, same Scarlett interface. I don't know what goes on every week.
I know what's going on. I could tell you what's going on there is you got the school internet's got so many weird filters and
probably
not scanners. What am I trying to say? Just stuff to keep the students from like starting World War III or whatever. That you got to deal with all that, and it just messes with your bandwidth or something in weird ways. Not your normal like, oh, I have a slow connection kind of way, but like funky ways that make no sense. But anyway, I'm glad you are where you are. And boy, the plains of Kansas wouldn't be the same without you. So thanks for being here. Let's start with this news that I couldn't be more excited about. Well, before we get to this,
we can start with the news that Scott's going to go on for 20 minutes.
You know what? Let's start with it because I really do want to talk about this bad. We haven't talked about it on the show yet. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe we hadn't heard about it yet. But Mike Flanagan left Netflix. Yeah. We have talked about that. He got poached by Prime, Amazon Prime, and which means a couple of things. The main thing is the Netflix originals that he did will still be there. They're going to stay, like House on Haunted Hill and all that, or Haunting of House Hill, Hill House, whatever it is.
Hill House.
That's
Manor, Hill House.
Yeah, all that stuff, including Midnight Club, which will not get a second season now, but will stay on Netflix. So he's bummed about that. But anyway, he's leaving to go there, and it has already been announced that one of his major projects, maybe even next big project, will be a proper TV series treatment of The Dark Tower, Stephen King's The Dark Tower book series, which is my favorite series of all time in book form. And it's one of those things in Hollywood and other circles that people just think is like this scary, untouchable thing that nobody can get right. The movie tried, but it tried to cram 7 books into 2 hours. That was a mistake. Right. A series is a much more sensible way to handle this, but then it needs the right touch and the right approach. He's adapted multiple other King projects, like what's the follow-up to The Shining? Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep,
He directed that and did treatment on the script. He made that Gerald's Game for Netflix, which was I thought very good. So he knows he's Stephen King. He's clearly a fan. I couldn't be more excited about this. I'm so freaking stoked. Yeah. The only other guys, so there's basically like 2 names in Hollywood I would want to even touch this material. And it's him or Josh Hawley. And Josh Hawley's just busy making other cool stuff. So have Mike Flanagan do it. Great. Yeah. I'm all in. No issues. No problems. Yeah. Not even worried. I mean, it may come out and be garbage, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So Stephen, are you excited? Or am I weird?
Well, I finally read the first Dark Tower.
Why does it have to be one or the other?
Yeah, I was going to say, why not both? But yeah. So you did read, you've read the first book?
I've read the first book.
Yeah. I love the first book.
It's okay.
I love
I just
the
read
first
it recently.
book.
I just read it recently, so
it's still so amazing though. You gotta love if you like westerns and dystopic business, you gotta love.
Yeah,
the first book.
I mean it's interesting. I mean, here's I think everyone knows my problem with Stephen King, and if not, it's probably everyone else's problems with Stephen King. Is the man doesn't know how to finish a book, and so you get to the end of the Dark Tower, and you're like, okay, do I really want to go on to the second book? And so I'm sure so. If anybody's going to adapt Stephen King and make it make sense, it's going to be Mike Flanagan. He does a great job of horror. You can see the Stephen King influence in all of his work. Yeah. So I really dig that. And he sticks the landing, whether it is the Midnight Mass or whether it is Hill House or Bly Manor or, well, we'll never know what happens to the Midnight Club. But, I think I would put some faith into him being able to take Stephen King's work and be very faithful to it.
Here's the nice thing about the books, and your problem with Stephen King being bad at ending books. I don't disagree with you. Some of my favorite books by him, like The Stand, which I've read 6 times over.
Yeah.
The ending's rough, but you kind of just
Knocker's the same way.
Yeah, it's just he's bad at it for whatever reason. But The Dark Tower, it may suffer or may seem to suffer from that on a per book basis, but because it's a series and they all link together, the real question is how does he stick the landing in book 7? And I think he does quite well. Like, I think book 7 actually ends really well in a way that I didn't expect. I also think reading the ancillary stuff that's set in that Kingiverse stuff, like Insomnia and
that's
and other stuff.
That's going to be the weirdest part, right? Because we've talked before, both here on the Major Spoilers podcast and other places, how the Dark Tower kind of dips into a lot of the other Stephen King stuff. Like there's references or there's characters that pop in and out, and it's like, is that going to be a rights issue with this, or what's going to be the?
Oh, that's a good question. Like who has rights? I guess Prime currently has the more updated version of The Stand, so they'll be okay with the not Flanagan.
The Man in Black.
Man in Black fled across the desert, and what's his name?
And Roland followed.
I can't think of his name, but that guy,
Randall
Flagg. There you go.
Randall Flagg.
Randall Flagg is the same dude, literally the same dude in The Stand as he is in Dark Tower, but his reason for existing in things like The Stand are much more explained in the Dark Tower series. And I love all that twisted, like interconnected stuff. I even think he handled the part where he inserts himself into his own book and his car accident. I actually think that
Flanagan better get cracking then.
That I think that works weirdly. And if you just hire Joe Hill, he looks like his dad like 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever they do, I'm on board, man. Oh, I'm so excited!
I think a lot of people will be excited about this. I mean, I am, whether it's I'm weirded out about it or super excited. I am very much in the middle of this. I will probably watch it, and I will then move on to books 2 and 3 and 4 before the first episode drops. But yeah, I mean, anytime I see Stephen King on a book, it's just like it's going to be interesting, but it's going to just.
Well, you got to meet Eddie. He's in book 2. You got to get to Eddie, and then you got to get to book 4, Wizard and Glass, one of the greatest books ever written. Period. It's so good. Oh, Wizards and Glass, so good. And how they'll do that? Will they do like a book per season? I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm on pins and needles on this one.
So there's excited. 7 books. I'm not sure they could spend the next 10 years doing that.
They could do 7 seasons.
I bet they mix a couple of the books together and cut out. I mean, to be honest. When I read The Dark Tower, the first book, when it was over, I was like, did I get an abridged version of the book, or is this it? Because this is literally like 3 episodes of a TV series.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They could combine a bunch. I mean, I like the slow burn of that first book. I know some people don't, but I really like that. And I like the stuff where that town has their interaction with him. That's all I'll say about that. I think that's an amazing set piece. So I just think there's stuff you could linger on and other things you could move past quickly. But yeah, man, and Flanagan I trust. He hasn't made anything I didn't like. So I'm all in on that dude.
Have you watched Midnight Club?
That's the only one I haven't seen, actually. I've seen everything else. Bly Manor, the haunting stuff, all his movies. Brian, you saw Midnight Club.
Midnight Mass. Yeah, Midnight Club was great. And it's self-contained. I know it's obviously does lead into a potential second season, but don't let that scare you away from seeing it thinking, oh, it's going to leave me hanging. No, it's
yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I haven't found the time or the commitment to finish the rest.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll get to it at some point. I really like Midnight Mass in a very specific way, and I thought that was the most King thing he had done. Stephen King-ish sort of thing.
For sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Yes.
So I don't know. He's just tailor-made for this. He's already done King adaptation successfully. Like, just get in there and go, get it done. Just go up to Bezos and say, hand me the money. I'm ready to work. All right? He's also a really good follow on TikTok. He's funny. Mike Flanagan is. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some other DC business.
Okay.
James Gunn and the Wonder Woman stuff. Wonder Woman 3 canceled, right? We're done.
Well, so here's the deal. Patty Jenkins turned in a treatment that she co-wrote with Jeff Johns, and the response was, we're not moving forward with this, meaning this treatment that she turned in. So does that mean that there's not a Wonder Woman movie that's in the works? No, it doesn't mean that, but it doesn't mean that there's not a Wonder Woman movie in the works, nor does it mean that Patty Jenkins is not involved, nor does it mean that Gal Gadot is not going to be Wonder Woman. It simply means that, hey, you turned in a treatment. We're going to pass on this because we're looking at the future of the greater DC cinematic universe, and we're going a different direction. And so that's got a lot of people very much upset. But then James Gunn went out and said, hey, that Hollywood Reporter story that you guys were reading, it's full of truths, half-truths, things that are outright damn lies, and things that we don't know whether they're truths or lies yet. Right? So then he followed up on, I want to say Friday, with a poster for the first Superman movie saying Superman premiered 44 years ago today. And then some people were like, hey, does this mean that you guys are not going to do anything with Superman? And he replied back, yes, of course, Superman is a huge priority, if not the biggest priority for us right now. So we know that Henry Cavill made his reappearance. Spoiler alert, everybody, for Black Adam. He returned that. And then, of course, he tweeted out that I've returned as Superman. Yeah. Whether that meant that it was just for the Black Adam movie or whether it's for future projects, it may mean for future projects. And then someone else replied, what about the almighty Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie? And James Gunn replied, that's not a priority for me, and even much less of one for Ryan Reynolds. But he did say that Green Lantern is very important to them. So when you look at the Green Lanterns, the Green Lantern Corps, of course, there was a lot of talk probably this time last year about a Green Lantern Corps television series on HBO Max. But now that David Zaslav is in charge, we should all cancel our HBO Max subscriptions and sell our WB stock as quickly as possible.
Oh, I don't know. I think that stuff's going to work itself out. But the deal with Green Lantern is I think they should go with the Jon Stewart story. If it was me, I would. And that's the thing that really always causes me to scratch my head is because
most audiences who grew up watching cartoons probably saw the Justice League animated series.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart has been in the Justice League animated series the Green Lantern for almost every incarnation of a Green Lantern in animated form, including the animated movies, although there have been a few Hal Jordans, and occasionally a, what's his name, will pop up, One Punch,
right.
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner, yeah.
Yeah, so I would really hope that they do a Jon Stewart Green Lantern movie if they're going to do it.
For the chat wondering who we're talking about, this is not the comedian host Jon Stewart.
not the former host of the Daily Show, Jon Stewart.
No, and the current host of whatever that Apple thing is. It's Jon
What's
Stewart.
The matter with Jon Stewart? Yeah, it's Jon Stewart. I mean, he's the Black Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's his name.
Debuted in the 1970s.
Yeah,
and
he was first, so he was literally the guy with the name before Jon Stewart was Jon Stewart. So there, take that.
Right. Well, I don't know how old Jon Stewart is, but I'm going to bet that they were around the same age.
Right around the same age, yeah. But popularity and notoriety wise, the Green Lantern beat Jon Stewart, the host, by a good 20 years. So.
Oh yeah, by quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he's a great Green Lantern. I would love more exploration of that character.
Great story, yeah.
I don't know who, they should cast or whatever.
I mean, there are so many great actors that are out there. I think Idris Elba would be really good as a Jon Stewart. I think who's the guy that does Creed?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan would be great.
I think he would be really good as a Green Lantern.
Sure.
In that. So Jon Stewart's background is that he is he comes from the Marines and has military training, and so I think you need somebody that could fit that role. You don't want somebody super skinny and super tiny to play Jon Stewart, but think of your bulky military-looking actors, and that they probably would fit.
You don't want the Wire version of Michael B. Jordan. You want the current like Apollo Creed version.
Yes, most definitely. The series Peripheral. Is on what is that? Amazon.
So
you stopped
good.
watching that?
No.
I'm still watching that.
We're an episode left, is all Kim and I have, but I love that.
Oh, okay.
Show.
All right. Make sure you stick around post credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a post credit sequence in that. A
Is
very
it
long post credit.
Henry Cavill shows up and says, "I'm Superman." Or what?
Yeah, let's talk. No, but the guy that has lost his limbs in the military, I think he would actually be a really good Jon Stewart too.
Oh, he would be good. Yeah, I like him a lot. The guy with the cool future motorcycle.
With the cool motorcycle. Yeah.
Yeah, that show rocked, dude. I loved it.
I need to watch that.
I think you'll like it, Brian, a lot. It's got that,
sure
it's got that Chlorine Moretz Motis in it, or whatever her name is. So, all right, good news, everybody. Oh, so other than that James Gunn just started this gig. It's not like some people are already like, where are we?
Oh no, there's already a campaign to fire James Gunn.
Why? What? He's
no way,
barely
really?
been there. He's been there like 5 minutes.
Because first of all, so keep in mind, who didn't get the job as being in charge of the DC cinematic universe?
Snyder?
Zack Snyder.
Well,
so
he
you got
had
all the
the job.
Snyder stands who are out there screaming, fire this guy, fire James Gunn. We need to get Zack Snyder in here. Gunn's just going to screw up the whole Snyderverse.
Hold on a second. Snyder had his time, though. He's done.
He did. He walked away. Yeah. He walked away. And of course, granted, he walked away because of huge tragedy, and then kind of forced his way back in and got his followers to do the Snyder cut on the HBO Max. But yeah, this is something that's going to go in a very different direction. And I think when we talk about tone of superhero movies, not everything has to be dark and grim and barely able to be seen. I think you can have really lighthearted stuff. I think you can bring back a Superman 78 and make it shine.
Mm-hmm.
Are people worried that it's going to go the opposite direction as the Zack Snyder?
Yeah, I think
it's going to be too funny, and it's like, no, we don't need a funny Blue Beetle, but we don't need a funny Green Lantern.
Well, you know what I would say to that?
I think they're worried about Superman doing dick and fart jokes.
Well, I get that. Okay, there is some level of that I understand, but I don't know where it's coming from. If you look at something like Guardians, which in itself is kind of ridiculous from the get-go in terms of its, just Guardians is weird. All right, it's just a weird thing. Yeah. And he took that movie, had a combination of funny, serious, and real heart, and made it work. Mm-hmm. Why don't you want that in your? I don't understand why that is a thing you're afraid of.
And
that's weird.
And if people haven't been reading Superman and Superman, Son of Kal-El, and all the things that have been going on in the DC comics, Superman does have a sense of humor. He can be funny. He doesn't have to be a stoic all the time.
No.
He can be there and have fun and be lighthearted when he needs to be lighthearted. But when it's time to fight, he is not going to let someone blow up an entire city of Metropolis. He's going to look like he's running away, so the bad guy follows. So he removes innocent citizens from harm.
Yeah, he says things like this.
That's right. The only music you'll be playing is in the Galactic Prison Band.
See? He's a funny fella. He's got the jokes,
Yeah. So, and again, I keep forgetting who the other co-guy is with James Gunn on this. So this is a two-person thing. This is not just James Gunn in charge. So the weird thing about all of this news that has been broken out, that has come out, is, first of all, there's no official word from Warner Brothers on any of this stuff. James Gunn has not said, yes, we have canceled Wonder Woman and that Gal Gadot is no longer going to be Wonder Woman. He's not said anything like that. Mm-hmm. But then you get these things like the new Batman Beyond movie is canceled. I haven't really seen anything beyond rumors on that stuff. So you do have to be really careful when you're going out and looking for this stuff. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is, yes, James Gunn and the other person have just recently been hired in the last 3 months. They have been busy the last month or so up in Aspen, just kind of formalizing their plans for the next 5 years of the DC universe. And they are now back in Hollywood getting ready to meet with Zaslav before the end of the year so they can pitch the movies that they think will work and the direction that they want to go with the entire universe. And my guess is whatever either the very first big convention of 2023 is, or right around the same time that the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming into theaters, you will see Warner Brothers come forward with a big press announcement to get a lot of the media attention on their grand plan.
Gotcha. I'm very excited to hear more about it. I don't understand Snyder stands. I don't get them. Mm-hmm. Like I don't even dislike Snyder. I like a lot of his movies. I just think that's
it's the
weird.
Same mentality. It's the same mentality as the Elon stands and the same mentality of the Bezos stands. It's
Sure.
that same stuff.
Well, that's culty and lame, and I don't like it.
Yes, agreed.
All right, well, let's move on to this final deal. The comic
you
divide
should be
is
speaking of dark and gritty.
Yeah, Batman Spawn #1 is out this week, and I'm a fan of the one they did with Frank Miller back in the day.
Yeah, well, Todd McFarlane did that back in the day. Yeah. There were two different versions, Batman Spawn and then Spawn Batman, because back then it was DC got a crack at a story, and then Image Comics got a crack at the story, sharing the characters. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a Spawn Batman coming from Image in the next month or so. But this week, it's all Batman and Spawn. Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo teaming together. This is a story that it indicates that is a follow-up to the last time that they met when Batman threw that batarang into Spawn's face.
Yeah, and
he
took
had tied up like a football.
Yeah, it took him like 10 issues for that to heal.
Yeah,
later in the Spawn issues, I loved that continuity. I thought that was great. Super cool. But so Capullo's doing the page by page, and I think McFarlane did the cover this time.
There are so many people doing the covers. So you got Todd McFarlane on there. Sean Murphy is doing one. J. Scott Campbell. Jim Lee is doing a 1-in-100 variant for that. Brett Booth. So there's a whole bunch of people doing covers on this one. We don't have the sneak peek up today. It'll be up first thing tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. tomorrow, over at majorspoilers.com or within 7:10, 7:15, somewhere around there, where you can check out the pages on this. I don't know if anyone listens to, I think it was the Tim Ferriss show like 2 weeks ago, I want to say. Todd McFarlane was on talking about how, his early career. And in the middle of the interview, he's like, hey, this book is due at the publisher on Monday so it can be on stands on time. And I don't know how far Tim Ferriss works ahead, but it was literally McFarlane only had like the first 8 of 40 pages done at the time of that recording. And then Capullo had to ink it. Someone had to color it. Someone had to letter it. And it had to get to the printer so it can get into our hands this week.
Dang.
So it's a very tight turnaround.
That's hauling ass right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the Spawn issue on the site I look at. I'm trying to see other reviews yet.
You're looking at another site besides Major?
Well, no, but you don't have a full review out yet, do you? Do you have a review?
No. We don't have a review up yet.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking
for. We wouldn't be allowed to do one anyway until at least tomorrow morning.
Well, I'm very excited about this. have love for that era. So this will show up on both the DC side and the Image side.
I don't know if it'll show up on the Image side. The only place I've seen it being solicited is through DC Comics.
Okay. Well, I am very interested in this. So
yeah, so you'll be able to get this on Comixology tomorrow. You'll be able to go to your bookstore and be able to pick one up. Although if you are looking for a Jim Lee variant cover, 1 in 100, you probably will need to go to a bigger comic book store, to get those, because that means that 1 in 100, it means in order to get one Jim Lee variant, the comic store has to buy 100 copies of this.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you, and then the incentive, of course, is buy a lot of these issues. You'll get this 1 in 100 Jim Lee variant, or the 1 in 250 Todd McFarlane inked variant, or the 1 in 666 signed variant from Todd McFarlane. The incentive then is the store turns around and sells that Jim Lee or the Todd McFarlane variant covers for like $200.
Oh, geez. Okay. So this is kind of a tangent, and it just made me think of it. Are there any of so Jim Lee, of course, got to start with Marvel before they went and formed Image, and had a ton of X-Men work and all that.
Yeah.
Brian, is Jim Lee stuff in? Are there any variants in Snap from Jim Lee, or do they have rights to all that?
I haven't seen any. That you say that. I've seen. It feels like it's way more modern, newer artists that are doing variants, unfortunately. But I did see the guy Alex Ross. I saw an Alex Ross Invisible Woman variant, or
that's cool.
Spider Woman.
Oh yeah, I've really seen that one too. Yeah, I've seen.
It's like, okay, now let's give me a Bill Sienkiewicz, a New Mutant or something, like a Warlock or a
Cypher.
Yeah. Why
exactly.
the heck not? I would love that.
Yep.
Cool. Didn't also whatever.
They got lots of room to do that in the future for sure.
Yeah, and I would assume if that stuff was published back in the end of the Marvel name, they'd still have rights to do it.
Rights to do it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
It's part of the reason those guys left is because they didn't control their own rights. So.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that's what, if you go and listen to the Tim Ferriss interview with McFarlane, he goes into, here's everything that happened in 24 hours and how Image Comics was formed. And when we went into Marvel and said, here's what we want, they said no. And they were like, okay, well, we're leaving. We're going to go form our own thing. And then they went across the street to DC, and DC was like, oh my God, we're going to get Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and, Rob Liefeld. And they're like, no, we just wanted to give you a heads up that we're doing our own company, and we won't be working for you either.
Yeah.
And it's a really good interview. It's about 2 hours long.
Oh, really?
Definitely go check that. Yeah.
All right. I'm interested. Well, there you have it. Another look at the vast world of comics and pop culture from Majorspoilers.com. A great place to go bookmark and hang out all the time, including great shows. I'm on this week's Major Spoilers podcast. Very excited.
Yes, you are. We're going to be talking about Aquaman and looking at some funky stuff from Aquaman, although I do believe issue 4, we're only reading 4 issues of this Aquaman Time and Tide series. I believe issue 4 was actually used as part of the Young Justice TV series for either season 3 or season 4. I can't remember which one, but the storyline seems very, very familiar.
Oh, interesting. Well, I am ready. I'm digging into that this afternoon. Very excited to read it, and we will be here to talk about it this week. Anything else you want to mention before we go?
No, I think just anytime we get Scott Johnson on the Major Spoilers podcast is a huge fun time. And I think maybe we'll see about who else we can get on next year. So
ooh, very nice.
Keep listening for that. So big stuff is happening in 2023 over at Majorspoilers.com. That's where you want to go. And in the meantime, until the podcast drops, make sure that you stay hydrated.
Very nice. We'll see you later. I had something here I wanted to share, Brian. The Dark Tower series is famous for calling some of the kind of lesser beings on Midworld pubes.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example.
Like a play on plebs.
Kind of like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But at one point, the voice or the book, the audiobook version of it, somebody had sent us here on the show some years ago, sent us a compilation of these, and I'm just going to play a few. So enjoy this.
Pubes. There's a pubes, puberty, pubes, and the real pubes. Maybe it was the pubes. He's what the old woman called a pube. Puby, fun-loving pubes.
And it goes on like that for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, if anyone's going to read the Dark Tower, be prepared. Yeah, a lot of pubes.
Yeah. Did they take all that out in the Brazilian edition of the Dark Tower?
As soon as it got there, immediately they removed it quickly and very fast. Like they removed the pubes from the books.
No mention of it whatsoever.
Just pulled that Band-Aid off, as it were.
It's just a blank space where that word would be.
Yeah, it was so fast, kind of painful, actually. All right, hey, how about a quick email from a listener here? This is from Ben, who wrote in and says, "Hello, Simon and Buddy, or Bubby, rather.
Bubby.
Could be Booby.
It's Bubby.
Bubby. I was driving to work this morning, and I was listening to the radio, and I heard a familiar soundbite. I heard, quote, 'Hey, is it too early to get a fish sandwich?' Unquote. Just to let you know, Canadian radio stations are stealing your shtick. Love the Dunaway, though, Ben. So, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, look, if people run into a clip like that and they think that no one else has used it.
Exactly. Joke's on them.
On them, yeah. And maybe we did that, too. Other people may have done it before us. I don't know.
For sure, yeah.
I don't own that guy's thing about sandwiches.
No. Listen, that good morning in the news this morning, good morning clip has laughter in it because I think the audio clip that we got came from the soup.
That's right.
Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning, good morning.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's not Savannah Guthrie laughing in the background. That's
Although I guess that would have been, I think that was still when Matt Lauer and what's her name were Lord and hostess of the morning show.
Right, Matt Lauer and
Katie Couric, right?
Katie Couric, thank you, yes.
I think it was those days. Like 9/11 days. That's back when I was young.
Right.
All right.
Oh, Ann Curry.
Oh, Ann Curry. I like Ann Curry.
I do too.
She sounds tasty and spicy. Anyway, let's move on to this text we got from a listener. This came to us at 801-471-0462. Hello, slot machine and blackjack. You can guess what this is about. This is from somebody named Kicked Bush. Says, when is TMS Vegas? I just found out that my daughter has a volleyball tournament in Las Vegas April 29th and 30th, and I was wondering if there would be any overlap. Good news, everyone!
Yeah, it's not necessarily overlap, but tangential. So, like, you come for TMS Vegas and then stick around for the volleyball tournament that weekend.
Yeah, and the crazy town that is NFL draft weekend, which is why we're avoiding the weekend. But
that's right. It won't be there though. It's going to be in Kansas City, so it won't be nearly the crowds that we had last year.
Isn't it still nutty though? They still kind of lose it.
I mean, there's still going to be people who watch it in the sports books, but I don't think it's probably going to be 1/10 of what we saw last year.
Oh, that's good to know.
Because people go there so they can see the players and see the live picks and that sort of thing. So Kansas City is going to look like Vegas.
True, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to be in Kansas City that week. Boy, howdy.
There's as far as I know, the sports books don't do any sort of betting on what team is going to draft which players. So it's not like there's a benefit for people to go there and see it in Vegas.
Right. So yeah, we're there the 24th through the 26th, and if you hang out if you come early, then you'll be there that week already. So I think that's a great happenstance this year.
Yeah, I need to reach out to all you potential Taskmaster participants and make sure that when you book your flights, that maybe you give yourself like a come in Monday morning kind of thing, so we have time before the first deal to do some fun stuff.
Yeah, well, I think we're probably did this
gonna drive, right? So
but we did this last time where we went to
St. George the night before.
Yeah,
right?
and stay there one night and then come out early the next day. So that way,
there you go. Yeah,
I think we can make that happen. I think.
Cool.
Unless gas gets any more expensive, then we might fly. I don't know. Can't decide.
Come fly with me. Let's fly away.
Bombastic. All right, moving on. Hey, look at this. It's some Patreons to mention. We got a flood of you folks in here recently, and so I want to mention them. We got Andy, Foam Whup, or From Whup.
Yeah.
TDP minus, Kyle.
I like that.
Yeah.
TDP minus.
Many whelps. Kyle is here. Pixel Rage, Perplexer, Katrina, Kurt, and Brian. Not this Brian, but a different Brian. Spelled with a Y. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for joining our Patreon. We really appreciate it. You must have heard that you'll never get a commercial. You get pre-show content every day. You'll get stuff on the weekends and art in the mail. You must have heard about all the other benefits that I can only describe quickly. If you go check it out yourself and read it, patreon.com/TMS is the place to do it. Big thanks for your support in this new, semi-new month, I guess, as we hurtle toward the end of the year. For everything else, it's frogpants.com/TMS. And as usual, we're going to leave you guys today with a little bit of the old croonership over there from Brian. No, Brian picked a song is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, thank goodness, because I wasn't prepared to sing. Adrian Jimenez wrote in, said, S&B, on December 11th, which was yesterday, I will transcend to the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. If 42 spins around the sun has taught me anything, it's that each day really is another chance to do better. Can you please play Still Alive by the 8-Bit Big Band? Thanks, and you can eat rice.
Happy birthday to you.
You get that first, and then you get rice. Oh, man. I meant to pull this out, and I didn't. So you know what? Now I'll do it. Rice. Here we go. You can eat rice.
Then you can eat rice!
All right, and now it's queued up for those who asked for it. There you go.
Excellent. All right, this comes to us from Adrian in Marietta, Georgia. And yeah, it is the cover of Still Alive from Portal, covered by the 8-Bit Big Band. I love these guys. Speaking of crooners, I mean, this does kind of fit. Of course, originally by Jonathan Colton. Here is Still Alive.
That's going to do it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of the Morning Stream.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Frog Pants Network. Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Definitely Dr. Superman.
Oh, I forgot I had that in there.
Dr. Superman.
That's happenstance usage for Steven's thing today.